Hey there, Squirrel Army! Adam's in the box again, and March of the Machine is coming out. I did discuss that I would do something about this in a little video there that I put out. There's two really cool commanders that I kind of want to talk about, and two cool commanders I kind of want to do a deck tech on, and I guess you could see them on the screen. Thalia and the Gitrog monster, and Omnath, 5-color Omnath. So these commanders seem to be pretty popular already, which seems a bit weird because they're not technically legal yet, which is weird. But again, I guess people are just proxying them, given how popular they sort of are in a sense. So that's cool with me. I don't really care. But it does seem a bit odd. But still, over 500 decks for Thalia and Gitrog, and nearly 500 for Omnath. There's a couple other commanders that are from this set. Actually, I really like Golter and Maven. That seems like a cool card. I kind of wish I could find space to put it in my tokens deck, but I'm not sure where I can quite fit it yet, so I'm still thinking about it. But anyway, I want to talk about Thalia and Omnath right now. So both of these commanders, I guess especially Thalia and Gitrog, right now, Thalia's and Gitrog's pretty darn popular, having over 500 decks. I was thinking that Omnath would have more commander decks built around him because everyone's wanted to see for 5-color Omnath for a while. I don't really think it does a whole lot of stuff that the older Omnaths kind of did. It's sort of its own new, unique kind of deck, which is cool. That's a lot of what the new Elishnorn... No, Atraxa. No, Elishnorn to a degree as well, I guess, as well. But still, it's one of those things. Those cards are really doing something in a new space. And this is really sort of doing something in a new space. Whereas Thalia and the Gitrog monster is just like cramming the abilities of those two creatures together, which is pretty darn cool. This is kind of another way to do partner and things like that. I think it's actually kind of a cool ability and a cool kind of idea. You can kind of go a lot of different ways. It's in fairly good colours. Omnath obviously in all the colours. So again, it's not like you wouldn't have that much access to a lot of the things that are in the colours that would do things for what that commander wants to do, because you're in all colours. So you don't have access to anything. But again, it's a very odd commander in a lot of ways, because you really want these 3-color things that are 3 CMC. So that it's kind of a weird thing. I think it's a kind of very difficult build around to try to figure out. There are, of course, you're not going to run mono 3 drops or whatnot, and mono 3-color drops or whatnot. But again, you've got to stock your deck up on those, because those are what you want to hit with Omnath so that you can trigger Omnath. So it's one of those things. But I think Thalia's a lot more, not generic, but I guess generic is sort of the best way to put it. It's just doing a lot of really cool, good stuff for the most part, and you can make a really good kind of commander with it. Doing a lot of land sort of stuff, messing around with other people's lands and things like that, taxing them a little bit, slowing them down so that you can get kind of an Abzan mid-range deck going on there, and just get value out of doing your own thing and hopefully not be messed with till you just win. So I think Thalia does interest me a lot more. I just think that Omnath being 5 colors is kind of why it's kind of, up there, and it's kind of like Omnath, because he's had 3 or 4 cards or whatever it is now. Isn't it 4 or 5? No, he's had all 5, hasn't he? So, no, he had the monocolor, he had the 2-color, he had the 3-color and the 4, and now he has the 5, so that's 5. Oh yeah. Me and my maths. But yeah. So, not that he's been in every color, but he is in every color now, I guess, but whatever. But whatever, he's doing a lot of stuff that kind of, I don't know, it's harder to build around, harder to figure out what you're going to do with it, but it's still kind of a cool build around. There's a few other commanders, this is what I said here, but I don't really want to go through them right now, but I want to ask you guys specifically right here in this one to say, hey, besides, I guess, Omnath and Thalia, because you guys would have seen these by now, surely, hopefully at least, what other commanders so far that they've released from the set are you guys interested in? Because there's the new Helioid, there's Drana and Linvala, there's Galta and Maven, and there's Gingietaxius. So, and there's Yargle and Multani. I don't think much of Yargle and Multani. I think like Yargle and Multani seems like a Voltron deck, or just like a Fling sort of meme deck of some sort. So, I don't know, you really need red for that, I think, or just a fight commander maybe? Don't know. But again, just a really memey commander, which isn't bad, but again, nothing too exciting in my opinion. But if you guys really want to see any of these other commanders I'm sure you guys, as I said, have seen, as I said, I'm really interested in Galta and Maven, but that's just me, because again, that's kind of my jam, tokens and stuff. Unfortunately, I do think he's a lot of mana, but he does have quote-unquote haste abilities on his abilities, so that is good. The flip side of Gingietaxius is very interesting as well, but again, I don't want to talk too much about them and whatnot for too long. I just want to see what you guys are interested in, what you guys want to see me do deck techs on, and whatnot, so that I can start planning to do some deck techs, because I would rather, I think, do this in this way, because I've found that from doing the videos in the past that people really don't kind of get that hyped for the videos that we do here, and there's not much community underneath them right now. I mean, it's starting to build, but again, I think that just doing one shot or whatever when there's new commanders just to talk about the most interesting ones or whatever will be the best way to kind of go. Just kind of do a group thing and say, hey guys, what are you interested in? Because that way we're not talking about, we're not having 50 videos on the channel that people just aren't interested in. I'd rather have one or two videos here and there. Maybe not every commander or not every card people are interested in, but at least people can voice their opinions and say what they want, and then I can move on and do what I want. Because again, what I want to do is probably do Thalia and Gitrog, but I don't know if anyone's actually interested in that. It looks like 500-ish people are at least interested, because they've been building decks around it. But, that doesn't always translate to viewers here on the channel and whatnot. Or sometimes it does and sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes you do a commander and you go, oh, this won't be that interesting for people, and then everyone's interested in it suddenly. So it's just like, wow, this deck has, or this commander basically has 0 decks to its name, but because of the way that people go, wow, this is an underrated commander or something, or it must have something to it, so let's figure out how to do it or whatnot. But anyway, that is what it is. So I just wanted to say, hey, what are you guys interested in? Let me know your thoughts down there in the comments below. You can let me know whatever you want to know, whatever you want down there in those comments. You can talk about any of these new cards, Fairy Vandal, etc. All the cards that are in the set and whatnot. The reprints, if you really want, whatever it is, down there in those comments. So yeah, I hope you have enjoyed, and I hope you will join me again in the next one. You can join the Squirrel Army by subscribing